Hello students, last class we studied about the biomolecules, that is proteins, enzymes, their functions, etc. Now here we are going to study about hormones. So what are the hormones? Hormones require very small amount. So these are the biomolecules which are produced in the ductless gland, that is endocrine gland, and are carried to different parts of the blood through the bloodstream where they control various metabolic processes or show physical activity. Okay, so generally these are biomolecules secreted from endocrine glands and goes to different parts of this body through bloodstream. Okay, they controls our various metabolic processes, and these hormones are broadly classified into three types. One is steroid, another peptide hormone, another amine hormone. So the steroid hormones are again classified into two types. One is sex hormones, another adrenal cortex hormones, also called corticoids, adrenal cortex hormones. So these sex hormones again of different types, different examples of sex hormones, androgens. So these androgens name either androsterone or testosterone. Okay, androgens, androsterone and testosterone. So these are the male hormones, male sex hormones. So these are secreted from testes and controls the development of male sex organs during puberty. These are also responsible for the secondary sexual character. Next, estrogens. Estrogens, these are also known as your female hormone, female sex hormones. Androgens, the male sex hormones. These are the female sex hormones. Examples, estrone, estradiol and estrol. So these are your female sex hormones. These are male sex hormones. So these are generally derived from, secreted from ovary, and that controls the development and function of female sex organs. Similarly, another is estrogen. This is also a sex hormone, also known as your progesterone. Progesterone. This is secreted from corpus luteum and controls the development and maintenance during pregnancy. Next, another adrenal cortex hormone are also called corticoids. So these are different types of adrenal cortex hormones: cortisone, corticosterone and aldosterone. So actually these are present at the upper part of our kidney, that is called adrenal cortex, secreted from this, and generally it controls the metabolism of fats, proteins and carbohydrates, and aldosterone that controls the minerals and water in the body. Next come to peptide hormones. So peptide hormones are also of different types. It contains a peptide bond. Steroid hormone, it contains a steroid nucleus. That's the this is known as a steroid. That means four-membered fused ring structure. There is a steroid hormone and peptide hormones. Generally, these are made of peptides, or we can say different proteins. Okay, globular proteins. So peptide hormones, they contain peptide bonds. That's this is called your peptide hormones. And peptide hormones are also different. For example, insulin, it secreted from pancreas and it controls the metabolism of glucose. Similarly, oxytocin, it is secreted from pituitary gland and controls the contraction of uterus after the birth of child, and also it secretes milk from the mammary glands. This is responsible for the secretion of milk from mammary gland and contraction of uterus. Similarly, another peptide hormone is another peptide hormone is vasopressin. Vasopressin. So it is secreted from posterior of pituitary gland and controls the water in kidney. Okay, control the release of water in the kidney. So this is also a peptide, vasopressin. This is also a peptide hormone, and this is generally secreted from posterior pituitary gland. It controls water absorption in kidney. Similarly, another amine hormones. Amine hormones. So amine hormones, they contain this NH2 group. That's the these are known as your amine hormones. And amine hormones differentiation, one is adrenaline and another thyroxine. Adrenaline and thyroxine. Adrenaline generally is secreted from adrenal medulla. And this is secreted from thyroid gland. This is from thyroid gland. So what is the function? So it controls the metabolism of thyroid. Okay. It also controls the metabolism of carbohydrate, protein, fat, thyroxine, and it. So this is the function of thyroxine. And adrenaline, it stimulates the breakdown of liver glycogen and blood glucose. Okay, so it also helpful. It is very important. So it is generally it is increases the blood pressure or it stimulates the increase in pulse rate. It stimulates the increase in pulse rate. So for increase in pulse rate, adrenaline is required. At the time of requirement, when more energy is required, at that time adrenaline is secreted from adrenal medulla. Okay, so these are the examples of hormones. Next come to another type of biomolecules, that are vitamins. So vitamins, these are vital but require in small quantity to control different physiological activity of our body. These are vital, that's why these are known as your vitamins. And these vitamins are very important. Okay, so these are classified into two types generally. One is water soluble vitamin and fat soluble vitamin. So water soluble vitamins are vitamin B complex, vitamin B and vitamin C. The series of vitamin B are water soluble, another vitamin C, and the fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E and K. There is another vitamin that neither soluble in water nor in fat, and that is known as your vitamin H, also known as biotin or vitamin H. Okay. Now let us discuss what are the deficiency disease of different vitamins and what are their chemical names. So vitamin A known as retinol, and its deficiency disease is xerophthalmia, and night blindness. This is also the cause of dryness of skin. So this is generally found in colored vegetables and fats like carrot, papaya, so different colored fruits, and also in milk, butter, egg, etc. Okay. Next come to vitamin B1. So vitamin B1 also known as thiamine, and the deficiency disease is very. Okay. So these are found, this vitamin B series generally found in different pulses, nuts, cereals, egg, yeast, milk, curd, etc. So vitamin B complex, generally all these are found in similar type of food. That is your milk, different milk products and different animal products. That is and also different pulses, cereals, nuts, etc. So the deficiency disease is very. Next come to vitamin B2 known as riboflavin, and the deficiency disease is generally dermatitis. So dermatitis, okay, and redness of tongue, redness of tongue, okay. So these are also so responsible, deficiency of these is also responsible for mouth ulcer, etc. Next, vitamin B3 known as niacin, and the deficiency of this disease is inflammation in mouth. Okay, so inflammation in mouth, tongue, etc. Okay, so deficiency of this disease is called pellagra. Deficiency of this disease B3 is pellagra. Next, another vitamin deficiency, and now another vitamin, that is your vitamin B5 known as pantothenic acid, and deficiency disease is insomnia, and it's vomiting. The symptoms is vomiting. Okay, the symptom is vomiting, deficiency disease, insomnia, and stomach pain. So these are their symptoms. Next come to vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is known as pyridoxine. So its deficiency disease is nervous disorder. Nervous disorderness. Then another vitamin B12, generally known as cyanocobalamin, and The deficiency disease is pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. So these are some examples of vitamin B12. Next come to another type of vitamin, that is known as vitamin C. So vitamin C, known as ascorbic acid, and generally this is found in citrus fruits. Generally this is found in citrus fruits like lemon, Indian. So these are generally found in different citrus fruits like lemon, orange, etc. And deficiency of this disease is scurvy. Deficiency of this disease is scurvy. Okay, it is found in different citrus fruits. It also causes vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin C also protects us from. So it prevents us. It also increases our immunity. Vitamin C, it also increases our immunity. So deficiency of this disease decreases our immunity power and also causes scurvy, that is bleeding of gums, like this. Bleeding of gums, scurvy, bleeding of gums, pyorrhea, etc. These are due to deficiency of vitamin C. Next come to another vitamin, that is vitamin D. So vitamin D, this is also known as sunshine vitamin, also known as calciferol. This is known as calciferol or sunshine vitamin, and deficiency of this disease is generally rickets in case of children and osteomalacia in case of adults. Okay, so rickets and osteomalacia. Rickets and osteomalacia, this is deficiency of vitamin D. And generally this is called sunshine vitamin. That's this vitamin D is formed below our skin. So this is formed below our skin when our skin exposed to sunlight. So this is formed due to sunlight. And this is also found in different milk products. Okay. Next come to another vitamin, that is vitamin E. Vitamin E, this is also known as tocopherol, and deficiency of this disease generally causes sterility in male and sterility in case of male, and also it decreases the glowing of skin. So decrease the glowing of skin, etc. Okay. Next vitamin is vitamin K. This is known as phyloquinone, and deficiency of this disease that prevents blood clotting in case of injury. So if any injury is there, then at that time this vitamin K deficiency causes it prevents the blood clotting. So the blood clotting becomes prolonged. And another vitamin, that is vitamin H, known as biotin. So deficiency of this disease causes baldness and also dermatitis. Baldness and dermatitis, and the deficiency of this disease called baldness and dermatitis, and these are found generally in egg yolk. Okay, so different non-veg food, this is found in egg yolk, etc. So this is something about our vitamins. Next come to another type of biomolecule, that are nucleic acids. So as the name is nucleic acid, these are generally found in nucleus. Okay, so nucleic acid, so these are generally found in nucleus. So these are responsible for our transference of our hereditary character. Okay, so these nucleic acids, these are the polymers of, so these are the polymers of nucleotides. So these are the condensation polymers of nucleotides. And what are nucleotides? Nucleotides, they consist of three parts. One is a nitrogenous base. So nucleotides consist of three parts. One is a nitrogenous base, another a pentose sugar, and another a phosphate group. Okay, so the phosphate group, the combination of these three is known as nucleotide, and the polymer of this nucleotide is known as nucleic acid. And this nitrogenous base generally of two types. One is known as purine, another pyrimidine. One is the purine base, another known as your pyrimidine base. And this pentose sugar, this is also two types. One is ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. And you know the phosphate group also, that is your PO4 3 minus, but here in different way this phosphate group is present, phosphoric acid form, that is your in this way in phosphoric acid form it is found. Okay, so purine, pyrimidine, ribose and deoxyribose. One oxygen is less in case of deoxyribose than that of ribose. And these purine bases are two types. One is adenine and another guanine. And these pyrimidine bases, these are three types. One is thiamine, uracil and cytosine. Okay, so there are two purine bases and three pyrimidine bases. Actually, this adenine, guanine and cytosine, these three are present in all types of nucleic acids. So these nucleic acids are classified into two types depending on the type of nitrogenous base present, another the pentose sugar present. So that is your one is DNA, another RNA, deoxyribonucleic acid and ribose nucleic acid. Okay, so DNA and RNA. So in DNA, what is the base present? In DNA, the base present are adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. So these four are present in DNA. In RNA, present adenine, guanine, uracil, and cytosine. All other are same instead of thymine. Okay. So when the polymer is formed, when the polymer chain is formed, generally this adenine form bond with thymine by a double bond, that is A and T bond is formed. So after the formation of this nucleotide, and this nucleotide again remain in double standard. So in case of DNA, DNA has a double helical structure, and this double helical structure, these are formed due to the formation of bond between these nitrogenous bases. And the nitrogenous bases, a double bond is formed between adenine and thymine, and in case of guanine and cytosine, a triple bond is formed. So a triple bond is formed between guanine and cytosine, and double bond is formed between adenine and thymine. So due to this type of bond formation, DNA exists as a double helical structure. So DNA exists as the double helical structure, and RNA exists as a single strand structure. Both a single helical structure or single strand structure, it exists as a double helical structure. So what is the this RNA again classified into three types, that is mRNA, messenger RNA, tRNA, transfer RNA, and rRNA. Okay, so this RNA classified into three types, but DNA is only one type, that is it has only double helical structure. And what is the functions of this DNA RNA? So DNA, it has the power of replication itself, but RNA cannot replicate itself. It can't replicate. So RNA can replicate itself. It replicates itself. DNA replicates itself, but RNA can replicate itself. So it is generally helpful for protein synthesis. This is helpful for protein synthesis, and this is the transfer of, this is responsible for hereditary character. Okay, so generally there are two types of nucleic acid. One is DNA, RNA. DNA consists of adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, and RNA consists of adenine, guanine, uracil, and cytosine. So DNA consists of sugar, that is called deoxyribose. It consists of sugar, deoxyribose. RNA consists of sugar and ribose sugar. This is the difference, structural difference. And this is a double standard helical structure, and RNA has single standard structure, single helical structure, alpha helix structure. So this is DNA generally replicate itself, RNA can replicate itself. So it is the main cause of the hereditary character, and RNA is generally responsible for protein synthesis. So this is a little idea about nucleic acids.